Education in the UK is prestigious and high quality. It's the British educational model honed for centuries, a benchmark and example for imitation for modern states, with tens of thousands of students. Here, modern global elite members are raised, diplomats and top-notch IT experts gather. On one hand, education in the UK still respects traditions and historical principles, but on the other hand, it incorporates innovative techniques and approaches, as well as equips institutions with the latest technology, providing students with up-to-date education by 21st century standards. In addition to that, studying in the United Kingdom provides students with an opportunity to enhance their language skills. English language is the language of global business, science, and essentially all forms of communication. So studying at universities in the United Kingdom also provides you with great opportunities to learn and master this widely spoken language. And to provide you with more information about the higher education system in the UK, today we are joined by Sophia, who will share her personal experience of studying in the UK. Hey, Sonia.
Hello, Andre. Greetings to all. Today we have a truly extraordinary and remarkable topic for our channel. We are moving away from the topic of IT and business and visas, and we have chosen to address the clear advantage of Britain, its higher education system, which is widely recognized for its excellence. I'm not just sitting here by chance, because I myself was a student at one of the universities in London, and it was a very valuable experience for me that I would like to share.
Start with the fact that all top educational institutions in the UK, approximately 120 or more, are divided into universities, colleges, and higher schools. They are categorized into faculties or institutes, and those in turn into departments. Basically, it's a standard practice all over the world. Can you tell me more about where you studied and why you chose Great Britain specifically?
Yeah, sure. I studied in the master's program at Queen Mary University of London, and unfortunately, this year was COVID affected, 2020 to 2021, and the learning was completely online. So maybe my experience might be a bit different from the experience of students who are currently studying or have studied before. I made the decision to choose Great Britain probably for very obvious reasons. This is a highly prestigious level of higher education on the international stage. You can truly sing about Great Britain for a lengthy period of time, but I would like to emphasize specifically 3 reasons that I concentrated on. To begin with, these rankings are of international significance, including prestigious institutions like Times Higher Education, QS, and World University Rankings, where British universities dominate the majority of the top positions, most likely within the top 100 universities worldwide. Secondly, I was in search of a diverse range of programs with different options and offerings. I had a keen interest in a program like public policy offered at multiple prestigious British universities, and I explored numerous options to pursue my passion. They genuinely provided a diverse range of intriguing programs, which were highly engaging, and for me, it was a significant advantage, as it indicated an unconventional approach to studying the subject matter. And another crucial aspect for me was that I did not want to study from 8 in the morning until 6, 8 in the evening at the university. It was significant for me to maintain a balance between face-to-face learning, sitting in classes and lectures, and engaging in self-study. Achieving this balance was of utmost importance to me. In the United Kingdom, particularly when you are enrolled in a master's program, it is highly probable that you will spend approximately 80 to 70% of your time working on your own, without much interaction or collaboration with others. And for me, it was a positive thing, because you can work in addition to studying, and that is important.
And one more query. As you are aware, in the UK, in order to gain admission to university, it is necessary to complete school first, a process that typically lasts for 12 years in the UK. We are aware that in certain countries, education typically lasts around 10, maybe 11 years. So what should those who want to enter a university in the UK do in this case in order to fill this year-long gap? Is there anything special about this, like some kind of mechanism or something else?
Yes, definitely there is an established system in place in the United Kingdom to handle such situations. Not a system, an initial year is provided. This is prior to the first year for students from foreign countries. So there's this program called Foundation. It lasts 6, 12 months depending on the university and how many years you studied in school before. This program is specifically designed for students from abroad to prepare them directly for their undergraduate degree at the university. So it is not just language courses, but also specialized subjects and preparation for specialized subjects that are offered at this institution. Upon completion of the program, you will be required to take exams that will grant you access to the bachelor's degree program, thereby opening doors for further academic pursuits.
And of course, in addition to that, you'll need a certain set of documents for the Foundation E, well, like basically in any university in the world.
I know that there are a few documents that are required in order to apply for a bachelor's degree in a British university. First and foremost, a letter of recommendation,
which is written by teachers, mentors, or directors of those institutions where the applicant studied before, as well as an academic essay that every applicant writes in order to convince the admissions committee that he is worthy of a place in the chosen university. Can you inform me about any additional papers, certificates that are required to gain entry into a higher education institution in the UK?
Yeah, you articulated it correctly. Yeah, the package containing the documents is indeed quite substantial, without a doubt. Based on my personal experience and to the best of my knowledge, in both the undergraduate and master's programs, as well as in the graduate program,
graduate school requirements can vary, but for master's and bachelor's degrees, recommendation letters are necessary. Personally, I had 3.
these could be letters either from your immediate academic supervisor, or if you have completed your education, they could be letters from the school principal, the principal of your previous school, or your homeroom teacher. If you already have some work experience, it could be letters from employers, at least one, I believe, without a doubt. A resume that we have submitted for university admission. It is slightly different from the resume you submit for a job application process. So you're basically describing your educational experience and some of your own soft skills. Personal statement, where you describe not so much your previous experience, but your goals for education. This is an extremely crucial document because the admissions committee scrutinizes it to assess if you have the necessary motivation, what you can genuinely offer as a student in the United Kingdom, what potential you possess, and whether you have the intention to stay within the country. You don't have to say you want to stay because they really don't want you to stay, even if you express your desire to do so. This is of utmost importance, and the scans of documents are absolutely crucial and cannot be overlooked. About previous education, a language certificate is required. In my case, it was IELTS. You can also take TOEFL. So in my opinion, I think that's the complete extent of it. But for specific programs related to art, sports, or some scientific activities, there may potentially be additional essays or portfolios, depending on the program requirements and guidelines in place.
You mentioned IELTS. I want to delve into this a little more because, as I understand it, when applying to a British university, first and foremost, you need to pay close attention to your high level of English language skills. Since all programs are in English and you communicate only in English, it's important to demonstrate your high language proficiency. And that's exactly why you need an international IELTS certificate. I know a little bit about this. It's like an internationally accepted system. It seems to consist of several parts, and bachelor's courses require IELTS scores of at least 5.5. For a master's degree, to the best of my knowledge, the points required typically range from 6 to 7. Can you provide more details about the course composition so that our viewers can adequately prepare for the test and potentially gain admission if needed?
Yeah, definitely. The IELTS is composed of two parts. This includes the written and oral components. Typically, it occurs over 2 separate days. The written portion, if I am not mistaken, required approximately 3 hours of my time. The language learning program includes listening, writing, and reading activities for students of all levels. And the speaking component, that's when you actually engage in conversation with an IELTS representative. When it comes to the IELTS examination board, you're dealing with representatives who are practically native speakers of the language. Sometimes they are actual native speakers. They give you about 15 minutes of preparation time and provide you with a topic. You prepare by jotting down some points that you want to talk about. This is a conversation and a soliloquy, or it could be a description or a depiction of the photograph or the image captured within it. Basically, IELTS is like a whole system, you know. You got to prepare for it and stuff. Any exam is a system, so even if you know the language well, before preparing for the IELTS, I had already finished university, bachelor's degree. I even received a translator's diploma, and still I had to prepare to understand the structure of the exam. This is highly crucial, so don't assume that knowing the language guarantees success in this exam.
Indeed, IELTS is beneficial not just for admission, but also, in my opinion, for life in the UK upon obtaining a visa when pursuing employment in IT or other industries. Therefore, in essence, it would be advantageous to simply take the test as well. But let's move on probably to the cost of education. It's known that the cost of education in the United Kingdom is pretty high, especially in big cities. And tell me, please, if you know, how much does education cost on average, and is there a possibility to study maybe for free? Do scholarships and grants for education actually exist, or are they simply rumors?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Education in the UK is really expensive, and the average cost, for example, for undergraduate programs, it increases every year, naturally. And right now, for example, it's between 17 and 21,000 pounds per year. And for master's programs, it's even higher, around 23,000, 29,000 pounds per year. So the higher the university rating, the higher the cost. To get into Oxford and Cambridge, it'll be around 29 grand per year for your master's degree if you want to go. That's my estimate. If you want to apply to some more ordinary university, it could be 23. And naturally, there are scholarships. There are scholarships provided by the government, universities, and private organizations. For example, the most well-known scholarship for master's programs is the Chevening Scholarship, which fully covers the entire cost of education. But an important condition is that you must return to your country for 2 years. At least that's how it was for me when I applied. Here you go. Universities offer scholarships and different forms of student aid. For instance, I possess a student, and the university provided a single-time aid of up to £1,000 because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, if COVID somehow messed with you, you can apply for this financial assistance. There is a multitude of scholarships available for individuals pursuing creative and sports majors. Not all scholarships fully cover tuition or living expenses, depending on the institution. In this situation, I would suggest contacting the admissions office and inquiring about your available choices.
Gotcha, man. And listen, we've already discussed important stuff like the paperwork you need to gather, and we've talked about the IELTS exam that you absolutely have to pass. For example, we've figured out which university suits us in terms of the chosen programs and the cost. And then we need to submit all these documents to the chosen university. And how does the process of submitting documents actually work?
To the best of my knowledge, you have to make use of those bachelor programs in order to achieve your goals. The ecosystem, The system was specifically created to make the application process easier. Where do you upload all the documents, fill out the application, upload your CV, personal statement, PS, and recommendation letters? Select the programs you need. It's crucial to remember that you can only choose a maximum of 5 universities and 5 programs to apply to. Basically, you can no longer choose, and it is definitely imperative that you put them in descending order. So, as an example, the very first line will represent the university that specifically captures your interest. First option. Here you are. Therefore, if you do not apply for it, they will automatically consider you for the decreasing ranks of the university. I didn't apply through UCOS. I applied for a master's program and sent the documents myself directly on the university websites. There is an opportunity to apply, and this is the way I went about it and completed the process of submitting my application. All of the identical documents were present. Additionally, it is possible to include that there exist 2 categories of offers, specifically unconditional offers and conditional offers. Unconditional is when they accepted you without any further considerations or conditions, meaning that you are fully accepted into the program without any additional requirements or limitations. Or there's a conditional offer. It's like when the university has accepted you but is still considering your application. Maybe they'll require additional documents or time to review your application. Don't be scared of this either, but it happens. And it's important to keep in mind that deadlines exist in the UK. The usual deadline for submitting applications for the baccalaureate is January 15th. In the universities of Oxford and Cambridge, I believe, even earlier. And there are deadlines for scholarships, so if you're planning to apply for a scholarship, you need to keep that in mind and check the deadlines separately on scholarship or uni websites.
Great. And now let's summarize a bit, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of higher education in the United Kingdom. And in my personal opinion, what I comprehended regarding higher education in the United Kingdom is that it is not without reason that it holds a reputation as one of the most well-liked and top-notch systems globally. There is definitely a reason why this entire foundation is being built, and a significant number of university graduates in the UK work in prestigious companies, earn a substantial amount of money, but of course, like any other higher education in any other country, it does not guarantee that you will be called to Google, Apple, or other IT giant companies immediately. However, in one way or another, the education system in Great Britain enables individuals to establish highly robust social networks, which, in my viewpoint, is of even greater significance in the present era compared to conventional education. You know, we are living in the era of globalization, and social connections are truly important.
Yes, Andre, I completely agree with you. Education in the United Kingdom is highly prestigious, widely recognized on the international stage, and top-notch, which means it is greatly valued. However, I would describe it as a springboard for enhancing career opportunities and propelling professional growth. So, like, if there's a chance to study in the UK, it's like really, really going to be a super interesting and valuable experience. As you mentioned, the social experience and communication between different cultures are important factors. Having such a checkbox in your curriculum vitae would be really awesome, but of course, it all depends on you in the end. Merely graduating from Oxford does not guarantee that any top-notch companies will actually opt to hire you for their positions. Universities provide skills and experience primarily, but the utilization of these skills is ultimately in your hands. So I would stress this maybe as a downside, that many people believe that by moving to the UK, getting an education from top universities, you can go to any company, meaning you will be sought after. No, it is highly unlikely that it is going to happen. Here is a truly disappointing downside, you know?
Yeah, but for IT specialists who already got their education, work in some companies and decided to move to the UK, there are 2 undeniable advantages. First of all, they can get an additional higher education in the UK if necessary. And those who relocate with their families also have a wonderful chance to send their children to one of the most prestigious universities in the world. So By doing that, they can pave the way for them to have a successful life and build a good career. Well, Sonia, thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. As you may have guessed, gaining entry into the UK is not a simple task, but the chance to pursue education at one of the top universities globally creates a vast array of opportunities for self-discovery and personal growth. And in order to move to the UK, you need a visa first and foremost. And with this visa, you can reach out to us, come to us for a free consultation where we'll tell you in detail about how, why, and within what time frame you can move to the United Kingdom. Thank you for your viewership.
Yeah, thanks a bunch to everyone for paying attention, and I wish you good luck on your journey of moving to the UK.